Welcome to episode 131 of the Fully In It podcast. And today I want to teach you a concept that will 100% change the way you look at yourself and your actions. This concept is going to take you out of your fear that has you playing a smaller game and into your most confident, action-taking self. So if that sounds like something that you are ready to fully become, let's go ahead and jump right in. Welcome to Fully In It, a show for moms who are called to grow themselves while growing their families. Join me, Kate Saffel, a life and a business coach for moms, a homeschooling mama of 3, and a woman on a quest to show that our lives become even more meaningful when we remember why we are here and what truly matters most. This show is about going fully in it for you and the people you love by showing up powerfully in motherhood, entrepreneurship, in your home life, and for your family vision. Join me for weekly episodes that will inspire you to live intentionally and by your values, to slow down and truly be present to your family life, to make decisions that grow a profitable business without sacrificing anything in the process, and to become the kind of mom and woman you know you're meant to be in this lifetime. So I think it's pretty important from the very beginning to state this. I believe that every single person on earth has a purpose. You were designed to have an impact in the world. And this may be an impact in your home, it may be in your community, or it may be on an international scale. Whatever it is that you have been called to do, I believe that deep down you know it. And this episode is going to be about, one, connecting you to your purpose and helping you live it out in a way that not only inspires your family, shows your children what you are capable of, shows those around you who you truly are, but most importantly, it shows you. You are not your past. You are greater than all of the mistakes and the stories that have been holding you back. You do not have to keep making up for mistakes that have happened. We all have mistakes in our past. We have all done things that we are not proud of, that we wish would have gone differently. The failures, the doubts, the things that people have said about you that you have been telling yourself are true, they simply are not. And today is an opportunity for a fresh start for you. But it takes you deciding that you are willing to let go of the past, that you are willing to wipe your own slate clean and let yourself become the greatest version of you that you have always been meant to be. So I want you to imagine that if you did fully embrace a fresh start, you have the opportunity to become the example of what is possible for moms, what is possible for women, what is possible for leaders in the world today. Take a moment right now and imagine if you really did have the life and the business and the impact that you dream of. Hold that visual in your mind. What would it mean for your kids or your child if they saw you leading in that way? They saw their mother stepping forward confidently, stepping into her purpose, and becoming that example of what happens when your fears no longer rule you. Imagine what this would mean for other women in your community. Think of the women who you spend the most time with or that you are the most closely associated with. What would happen if they had an example of another woman pursuing her purpose, growing her business, creating an extraordinary life for her family? You may look around you and see that everybody is doing the same thing. As humans, we tend to follow the leader. We tend to fall in line and do what everybody else is doing. But if you look around you and you think, their life is fine, I just don't want this for me. I don't actually want this for my kids. My dream is so much bigger than this. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm not going to feel ashamed for wanting more for my family. If that is you, it means that you are called to lead in this way. And I understand that sometimes the word leader can feel like a lot of pressure because we, as women, we are nurturers and we hold that role. And yet there are still women who are truly meant to lead for the sake of other women, for creating that example. I want you to think about in your community what stigmas and stereotypes and misconceptions that you could break simply by being willing to live a bigger version of your life. How powerful would that be for your people? We think that our example doesn't matter. We think that nobody sees us, nobody cares, no one notices me. I'm here to tell you, your example matters. It matters more than you can even know right now. And when you believe that lie that your example doesn't matter, it keeps you small and it keeps you in the box and it keeps you from changing other people's lives, yours being the first one. So can you live today like your example does matter? How would that shift the way that you get out of bed in the morning and move through the tasks of your day? As a life coach, because I have been a coach for over 5 years now, I recognized early on that I had to be the example. I could teach one thing and then live an entirely different life, but people would feel that. They would know that. So I set out from the very beginning to be a product of my own teachings. I never taught a concept on the podcast or with my clients that I hadn't already implemented in my own life. I wanted to lead by example. I wanted to show that no matter what your motherhood journey has looked like, that you could make it what you wanted, that you could become the mother that you've always dreamed of being, that even if it's overwhelming and it's hard and it's challenging, that you are still so incredibly capable. But I had to start with me. I had to believe that for me, and I had to be willing to change my habits that were so deeply set. And it started with believing that I could be different, that my family life could be different, and I could be the one to change that. You know, when I look back, it's not like my family was super on board with all of these newfangled ideas and concepts I was telling them about and I was modeling out. And there was a lot of times I felt lonely, and I thought, why am I even bothering? This isn't going anywhere. This isn't going to change anything. But I can confidently tell you now that I'm sitting in this place, I wouldn't have had this insanely incredible life that I've already experienced with my family, with the full-time travel, with the memories we have made, the experiences we have had. My life could end tomorrow and I would have zero regrets because I was willing to step forward and do the scary thing. So often, people in the online space are walking around like a facade. They are saying one thing on social media, and they are living an entirely different reality. And I know that you can feel this. We are called to be in integrity in everything we do, whether or not anyone can see you at home and how you are living your life. You see it, right? You are called to be that example in your own home, even if nobody ever knows. So how would you live if you were the example of your own teachings, of your own belief system? How would you communicate to others? What would you say, right? What would your messaging be about? How would you carry yourself, right? What would it look like if you were that powerful version of you? You would hold yourself differently. You would dress yourself differently. You would wake up in the morning and move differently. How would you talk about yourself? Our self-talk is something that often shows what we truly believe deep down. You would change the way you communicate about you. You would have your own back. You would never say a negative word about you because you know you are leading by example. And there's little ears listening, right? Your children hear you. They hear when you say, I can't, it's too much, not today, it's not happening. Only certain people have that. We aren't those people. Pay attention to your words because your words matter. How would you interact with your kids, right? If you were the fullest expression of you, would you be short-tempered and angry with your kids? Would you tell them, not now, later, I don't have time for this? Or would you recognize in gratitude the opportunity you have to just be with them and love on them and get on the floor and play a game with them or look into their eyes and truly hear their stories? The leader in you does. This goes into how you run your home, how you take care of it, how you visualize the spaces that you create. And it also is an impact in your business. If you were the example in your business, what would you be doing differently if you were that next level version of you as a CEO? When we first started traveling full time and Kirk had quit his job and he was home helping me with the kids, helping me with the house stuff and homeschooling, I had to change the way I was working. Previously, my method of working was that of an unsuccessful coach with 3 kids. I was frantic. I was here and there. I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. I was missing stuff, like forgetting things, because I was disorganized. I asked myself, and I remember this, we were at this beautiful lakeside campground and we just gotten on the road, and I was really letting the dust settle and visualize, how will this look for our family? We had no end date in sight. We were just going to travel until we no longer felt like traveling, and I was going to be the sole provider for our family. So I asked myself, how would the next level version of me as a mom and a CEO show up every single day? And I knew that it meant I would have a clear schedule every day, and I would keep strong boundaries around my time. So I did exactly that. I treated my business like a powerful CEO would. I never missed meetings for my mastermind that I was in. I always asked for coaching and feedback. I took the financial advice of my bookkeeper, who also was helping me figure out how to strategically use the finances in my business. I committed to getting better and better, both as a business owner and as a mom. I made sure to tap out of work when I was with my family and turn my phone off, because high-level CEOs have strong boundaries. And I believed I could enjoy my family time even more because I worked so efficiently in the time blocks that I had. I wanted to show other moms that it's possible to pursue your family dream and do it with your values intact. So what about you? What's the example that you want to set in your family, in your business, and for those around you? And if you're getting caught up in the how will I grow my business? How will I lead my family? How will I step into being the CEO who knows what she is doing? I created a brand new free training for you called Double Your Revenue in 2024. Simple, mom-friendly business strategy to 2x your profit. It's a business simplified so you can make more money without doing more. The year we started traveling full-time and I was practicing this concept of being the example, I 7x'd my revenue. Yes, 7 times. The following years were doubled. This is for you. Even if you haven't made a single dollar yet, we are going to change that together. This training will only be available for 2 weeks, and then I am taking it down. So make sure you register to watch it right away. But the best part is that it is free. It is for you, and it is a workshop that will change your family's life via your business. So go get access to it right now. There is a link in this podcast app. If you look at the notes, you can click that link. It'll take you right to it. Or you can type in your browser window www.happierin.motherhood.com/double-your-revenue. And that's happierin.motherhood.com/double-your-revenue. This training is a game changer, and I cannot wait to hear what you think of it. But please, I am reminding you, don't let this podcast just be an inspirational thing that you listen to. Commit to actually becoming the example. It will change everything for you and your family when you live from this belief. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.